Hey everyone, and welcome to the first Chaos Zero Nightmare video on this channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Zepp. I usually cover gacha games. I don't really spend too much on them anymore, which is a good thing. But this game is single player, which is something that I'm not used to playing. I usually play like PvP games where it's more focused around like guilds and team members and stuff like that. Where this one feels specifically built for me, which is really cool. One of the reasons why I like this so much, well, there's actually two reasons. One, I don't feel like I need to play it every day, like I'm going to get left behind because I'm not competing against anyone. I'm just playing, against myself. And the game's plenty challenging, so you have like tons of things to do. You have goals, which is really awesome. And you don't feel this need that you need to like spend to keep up. Sure, there's going to be people out there that are way further ahead than me, but it doesn't matter, right? And the second thing that I like about this game is the combat system is based on cards. And I come from a card game background, right? I played Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot. I used to play a game called Argent Saga, which was an amazing card game, but sadly COVID killed that. And I still play Magic the Gathering. But yeah, those are the reasons why I like this game. And if you guys are wondering if you should pick it up, I think you should. It's really, really fun. And you really don't need to spend money to have fun in this game. I promise you. But today's video, I kind of just want to talk about the most important thing you should be focusing on if you're starting out, okay? Because like most gacha games, a lot of the mechanics and things like that can be a little bit overwhelming. And I'm still learning as well, so I don't know everything. I'm still trying to learn some stuff, but I've been playing at least for like 3 or 4 days, and it's a bit apparent to me the things that have really helped me continue to progress and not get frustrated or stuck. And that is, you really just need to focus on your characters. This is, it might be straightforward, but one of the things that I think a lot of people do is they try and spread everything out. They try and get so many different characters and have them be like level 20 or level 30 and just have like 7 or 8 of them. You really need to focus just on like 3 or 4 main characters to start building up, some of the save data, which we'll get into. You're going to build specific partners, and you're just going to do a bunch of chaos runs, which is one of the main game modes in this game to continue to level up your characters as you go. So, all about characters today, okay? One of the first things that you guys should be doing is increasing your main character's levels in accordance with your account level. What do I mean by that? When your account level over here on the top left corner is, in multiples of 10. So your combatants, which are your main characters, they can't go above a certain threshold until your account level is at the applicable threshold. So right now, my account level is over level 30, which means my characters can be up to level 40. You want to continue to raise their cap along with your account level. That's the very first thing. Now, how do you do this? The game gives you this simulation mode, which if you don't have all of these things unlocked, it's because your account level is not high enough. But the more you do with these game modes, the more experience your account will get, where you'll eventually level up, okay? So the growth section here is where you get the XP to go from like level 1 to 10. You also have partners in this game, which are kind of like your weapons. It's an additional character that you attach to your main character. You also get their level up experience here as well. Same thing, level 1 to 10, 10 to 20. Once you hit a specific threshold on your levels, you need another material to get them over that hump to then eventually level them up from, 10 to 20. You have to have promotion materials to then break them through. So once you promote them, then they can go up to the next 10 levels. So, for example, you level up your character from 1 to 10. After they're at level 10, you'll need promotion materials to eventually get them up to be able to level them up to 11 to 20. And then you'll do the same thing. Now you see there's different uh, I can't think of the word right now. Sorry. Different like levels of these promotion materials. You have rare levels, you have legendary levels, and the higher up you go, you'll need higher rarity materials. You also see here that it's specific to the type of character. So strikers are like a subcategory, vanguard are a subcategory. So you need to target the right promotion materials for those characters. So if we just go back real quick to Rin, you can see Rin up here. She's a striker. So she'll need striker promotion materials to get up to the next level, right? And you see here that it says expert captain promotion mission clear. I have to clear something specific to eventually level her up to level 50. So this is the max she can go right now. So let's go back into simulation. So we were talking about the combatant section, right? This is your promotion material for your combatants. You have the same thing with your partners. So your partners go up from level 1 to 10. They get stuck. You need promotion materials, so on and so forth. The other ways to increase your character's strengths, okay, just outside of any kind of game mode, just talking about simulation, you have your levels, you have the promotion, you have your partners, right? These are your partners that get specific effects tied to the subcategory of the character. So this partner can only be put on striker characters, which Rin is. They level up all the way up to level 60, just like your combatants. And then the next thing is potential. This is another thing a lot of people might not be leveling up on their characters. But there's a lot of really good upgrades. Like the very first upgrade you get in potential, which can be farmed in the simulation, right? All of this is still in simulation. It's just leveling up your characters. Epiphany is one of the most important things to activate in the Chaos game mode because it unlocks new cards. If you're ever wondering how to get the unique cards tied to characters, it's through activating epiphanies, right? These unique cards are activated through getting epiphanies. So as you enter Chaos mode, which is, like I said, the main mode, you automatically get to trigger an epiphany. So you're going to get a random card through that. So potential is huge. And then on top of that, there's another like sub branch off of potential that increases the value of your base cards. So here on Rin, this Dark Mist stance is added to these basic cards, right? So there's Dark Mist first form, and then I also have Dark Mist third form here that gets Dark Mist stance. This is tied into her entire strategy. So without this potential being activated, I don't have this additional line, which makes her a way worse character. Potential, it's really important to know, is also tied to your character's like levels, right? Your account levels. Certain things need to be unlocked in order to be able to keep leveling this character up. And you see as you go further on, like you get some really important stats. Crit chance is really, really important in this game. You also have crit damage here, and then you have some other things that are branching off similar to how this branched off. So long story short, right? You need to continue to level up your characters, continue to level up your partners, level up your potential. The last thing that you can farm for currently, at least at the very beginning stages of the game, are your gear. Now, as we all know, when you first start out, your gear is going to be absolutely terrible. That's fine. But as your characters get stronger, you'll eventually be able to farm higher levels of gear dungeons. And once you do, this is where you can put them on your character here. So all of these tie into this. So those are the things that will help you continue to progress. Now, if you're a whale and you get multiple copies of characters, this unleashes, a whole different animal. Like this is where whales will really be able to progress very far in the game. But the problem is when you do that, you kind of shorten the amount of time that you get to play the game because you've spent so much that a lot of the grinding aspects are taken away. Some people like that though, but whatever. So the last thing we need to talk about is this save data, okay? The save data is acquired in the chaos mode. Now, chaos mode is the main game mode for this game, hence why it's called Chaos Zero Nightmare. So as you go through these chaos manifestations, what you do is you start with 3 characters. And this is another thing that's really important. You can't just have like all damage dealers. You really need to have a good, solid strategy. You want a damage dealer, you want a support hero, and you want a healer or something like that. Or 2 support heroes and a damage dealer if you can deal enough damage. But as you see, as you're progressing through here, the first time you beat it, you get some of this experience for like your account, you get some XP for your characters, and then some of the premium currency. But the higher the difficulty level that you play in here, and you can also increase the difficulty by turning on this button, but I won't get into that now, the better rewards you're going to get as you play through the game. So I just want to give you an example of what this looks like because it ties into the save data, okay? So you'll see as soon as we start, because I have some of those potentials activated on my character, as soon as we start the game, I get an epiphany, which is the ability to add an extra card into my deck. So your characters, their cards, they start with those 4 starting cards, but as you get epiphanies, you get to add things onto your character. So this is what the roguelike looks like. And this is the whole, like the main bread and butter of this game. You have these paths that you can go through. You can see which direction you're going. And each node denotes like a specific thing that happens, right? So for example, we'll go into this fight. And you see on the left side here, this is where our deck is. So these are all the cards in our deck. These are all starting cards for our characters, other than this card here, which was acquired through the Epiphany, right? So the more epiphanies, the more things that trigger as we play through the Chaos mode, allows us to add more unique cards into our deck. As you play through the Chaos mode and you add cards to your deck, there's also instances where you can remove cards from your deck. And some people might be like, well, what's the benefit of that? Well, for a character like Rin, you want her to be a damage dealer, but see, she has some skills in her basic cards that like give a shield. You really don't want to waste any of your turns using a card like that. So you do have the ability to remove it and just have really strong attack cards built around your character. Okay, so we'll go in here and we'll kind of kill these people because I want to talk to you guys about the save data. One thing you'll notice is each turn you start with 3 like application points. Some cards cost more than others. You also have skills that can give you additional AP. So this is where team building comes in. I don't want to go too into the weeds. I want to be more specific on some of these videos. But what I want to talk about right now is kind of just what the save data gets you. So we're going to try and beat this character. We're going to end our turn just so we can kill him faster. But what ends up happening after this enemy dies, like things trigger. So now I just get some credits. But if I were to beat this game mode, all of the progress that I have in this game mode will then be calculated, and I will be able to then use it as saved data, okay? And what that means is if you look at a character over here that I have, this is what the save data is after you beat these chaos modes, you see like this was one specific run where I went through the chaos mode and these were the cards that I acquired. These were some extra weapons or equipment that I acquired as I was going through the chaos mode. So I have 7 cards in my deck now instead of 4, right? Because you start with 4. I removed some. You see here that I don't have that shield card anymore for Rin. And I got all of these fancy equipments. Now, I can use this version of Rin anywhere outside of Chaos, which is awesome, right? So you're going through the Chaos mode to build your character a specific way so you can use them in the simulation modes. That's where you get your growth materials and your gear. That's how this all ties in. But previous runs, I got this. I got 8 cards in here, and I got some more unique cards and different types of equipment. So you can mix and match the type of character builds that you have. So just because the number is like lower or higher doesn't necessarily mean that it's a stronger character for specific content, which is what I absolutely love about this game. It's so cool. It's very specific. And I just noticed that my face is in front of stuff, but you see here like the numbers are lower versus the higher numbers. But the important thing to know is you just have like different versions. Like this number's low, and you see the equipment that I have on here is just worse than the other equipment. So right now I'm running with this. So yeah, all of those things tie into you continuing to progress your account. But long story short, the most important thing for you guys to continue to enjoy the game and have fun is just really focus on your characters. Level up your characters, level up your partners. If you almost beat something or if you're dying too quickly, it's most likely you just needing to level up your partners or your main heroes to the applicable level. If that's not working, it is your team composition. So we'll try and talk about team compositions in later videos. This game is very, very deep. There's a lot of customization, so we can go anywhere we want to in this game. If you guys have any suggestions on things that you're having trouble with or want to know, just please put them in the comments section below. And, I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.